Today in Atlanta, mourners continue to arrive to pay their respects and remember the life of humanitarian and 39th President Jimmy Carter.
The late president has been lying in repose at the Carter Presidential Center here in Atlanta since Saturday evening. And we have team coverage for you this midday, starting with our Liza Lucas at the King Memorial MARTA station, where buses are available for everyone who wishes to say goodbye to the former president. Liza, we know those buses will continue to roll for the next 19 hours or so.
That's right. They're going to be operating 24/7 until public repose concludes, at which point that'll be about 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning. Between now and then, the buses are lined up for you, ready to go. No lines out here to speak of at this hour. People have been continuously getting on and getting off and going through the Carter Center process over there. And we've been talking with passengers throughout the morning who've been making their way to the Carter Center. We've spoken with families, we've spoken with those who have very personal stories to share of the late president. A lot of people preparing to say goodbye. And these families have been making this trip together, which has been a really special thing to see. Elizabeth Collins was actually taking her daughter Piper to be part of this moment in history. And I had a chance to ask her how she summed this up, this momentous chapter for her 3-year-old. Take a listen.
She may not remember, but I grabbed a couple of pictures on MARTA. We'll get some on the bus. And I told her that he was a very important man. He's the only president to come from our state, and that's a really big deal. And I told her that this is our only chance to really go and tell him thank you for all of the wonderful things he did for us.
And that outpouring of support, the thank yous, the remembrances, it has been significant. More than 10,000 people, the Carter Center tells me, have gone through just in the past 24 hours of the public repose. Again, that's going to continue through 6 a.m. Tuesday. The buses will continue operating here until then, taking people back and forth. And guys, I actually had a chance to go through the Carter Center this morning, the beautiful exhibits, and then the repose itself. It is incredibly moving. So again, the public will have the chance for all who wish to share their goodbyes and their remembrances between now and 6 a.m. Tuesday. Live in Atlanta, sending it back to you.
Thank you, Liza. And we continue our coverage with 11 Alive's Kiris Belger. She's at the Carter Center right now. Kiris, what can you tell us about the journey to Washington, D.C. and the arrangements over the next few days?
Well, before former President Carter's remains make their way to Dobbins Air Reserve Base, they will have a final ceremony here at the Carter Center, one last send-off. From that, a special flight has been chartered. It will take the former president's remains and his family to Washington, D.C. They're expected to arrive there around 12:45 in the afternoon, where the late president's remains will be transferred to a hearse. He'll head to the Capitol after a brief stop at the U.S. Navy Memorial, where he will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda. And that's when members of Congress will have the opportunity to pay their respects as well. Then the public can say their final goodbyes starting at 7 p.m. They will be able to do so until President Carter's remains leave for the state funeral at Washington National Cathedral. And you talk about all of the thoughts we've heard from people, all the remarks of how wonderful he was. We heard a lot about that from Carter's family as well, including his son Chip, who said even when his father left office, he never really stopped serving.
But he was an amazing man, and he was held up and propped up and soothed by an amazing woman. And the two of them together changed the world. And it was an amazing thing to watch from so close and to be able to be involved in. And I thank you for your service.
President Carter's remains will then return back home to Georgia, where there will be one final ceremony at Maranatha Baptist Church. That's where he and Mrs. Carter led Bible study for years. And then there will be one final private burial with his family. At the Carter Center, I'm Kiris Belger, 11 Alive News.
Back where it all started in Plains. Thank you so much, Kiris.